the mighty Mercedes team are bringing in upgrades. How's it going, everyone? Chip here with the preview and predictions video for the upcoming F1 2019 Canadian Grand Prix. I hope you're all doing fine wherever you are. Without any further ado, let's get cracking with this snacking. Personally, I have a love-hate relationship with the Canadian GP. On one hand, the track is amazing. It's one of the few ones that feel both classic and modern at the same time. The atmosphere from the grandstand enhances the whole event, and the on-track action is almost always brilliant. There are a few boring races every now and again in Canada, like last year for example, but yeah, for every one of those there are at least 5 fantastic Canadian GPs in the pipeline. Now that's all great, but I have one major issue with the Canadian GP. Why, oh why, does it have to be held between 2 European races? No, seriously, it makes no sense. Out of 10 F1 topics at one time, especially in recent years, 9 are cost related. So for what pissing reason do teams have to travel from Monaco to North America and then straight back to Europe again? And it gets even better. Ever since the only 2/3 power unit components per year rule, teams have developed a habit of introducing, the first major batch of upgrades at the 7th race of the season. And guess where that 7th GP is held at? Precisely. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal, Canada. The amount of money spent by teams to get to and from this event is infuriating. It makes no sense. Slap this race at the tail end of the season, make it back-to-back with Austin, and have Mexico back-to-back with Brazil. There, I've solved a major issue of Formula One and saved teams roughly $250,000. Where's my glorified umbrella holder / trophy, Liberty? Okay, rant over. Now, back to the brilliant Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The circuit takes its name from the legendary daredevil of the late 70s and early 80s that thrilled fans throughout the world with his no-holds-barred driving style. Be it on drag strips, dirt tracks, city circuits, or even snowmobile races, Gilles Villeneuve had only one race mode: full-on attack. Go over the limit from the get-go and then work your way back from there. Seriously, go and watch whatever footage you can find of him. He really was something special. Dare I say a real-life action hero. As for this week's event, the race will be disputed over 55 laps around the 4.3 kilometers layout for a total racing distance of just over 305 kilometers. As circuit layouts go, the Montreal venue is an interesting proposition. There are 14 corners, 4 really heavy braking zones, 4 acceleration zones, and 1 wall of champions. The asphalt is neither grippy nor abrasive, but the track evolution throughout the weekend is really pronounced. Tire stress and lateral forces are almost non-existent, but the brakes are really taking a beating here. As for the downforce packages required, again, these are towards the low end of the spectrum. On the tires front, just like in Monaco, Pirelli brings in the 3 softest compounds available: C3, C4 and C5. So especially after Monaco, I'd say a one-stop strategy from soft to hards should be the default one for the majority of the field. Unless, of course, the weather has other ideas, although at the moment that seems highly unlikely. Okay, now let's take a look at the major talking points ahead of the race. Number 1, Mercedes engine upgrade. Tired of these 5 recent 1-2 finishes in a row? How about the 8 consecutive victories in a row? Well, buckle up, because more seem to be on their way. Yes, despite utterly dominating this early part of the season, the mighty Mercedes team has no intention of slowing down. A new engine for the Silver Arrows is set to be introduced this weekend, and yeah, that means more power, more performance, I would say more reliability, but you can't really improve on flawlessness. Is that the word? Basically, this upgrade spells really bad news for the other teams. Number 2, best chance for Ferrari to score that first elusive win of the season? Speaking of the other teams, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve presents a genuine chance for Ferrari to finally win a race in 2019. They were robbed by reliability issues in Bahrain and by, yes, driver error in Baku. So now in Canada, they must bring their A game. They were there to capitalize on the Bottas Verstappen pit blunder in Monaco and bag a P2 finish, but there's no getting away from the fact that they are 118 points behind Mercedes in the standings after just 6 races. Time to make up some ground on the leaders or go home and prepare for next year. And I know it sounds harsh, but the red team really underperformed so far in 2019, and yeah, with this aforementioned Mercedes power unit upgrade, it doesn't look rosy at all for Ferrari. Number 3, Racing.ca racing on home turf via India, but yeah, this will be the first race that the new/old pink team will contest a home race in quite some time. 2012? No, 2013. 2013 was the last Indian Grand Prix. But they weren't pink then. After underwhelming weekends in both Spain and Monaco, and with a midfield as tightly packed as this year, they need to produce some good results sharply. For the last 3-4 years, the outfit previously known as Force India was the best pound-for-pound team in the paddock. But weirdly, with Stroll's money, they don't appear to know what to do. Maybe Spain and Monaco were just a blip, and yeah, Racing Point will return to point-scoring ways on home turf. Number 4, signs of life at Williams? Upgrades, B-spec car, something, anything? Come on, Williams, come on. As the meme taught us, do something. And number 5, the best damn thing about the Canadian GP. It has become a bit of a modern tradition, if there is such a thing. The RAFTS race. This glorious little thing that allows team members to drop down their super professional hats and dive literally into a lake of fun. Of course, this being F1, it's taken really seriously and it's brilliant. It's quite something to watch professionals, the best mechanics and technicians in the world, get worked up for a race that involves mainly barrels, big transport boxes and rope. Best thing ever. Now, the drinking game for this Sunday goes like this. 1 sip for every overtake, 2 sips for every mention by the commentary team of the Wall of Champions, and 3 sips for every appearance of an animal. After all, the Canadian GP has a bit of a history with the odd track invader. Some more fortunate than others. And now, predictions. Starting the Canadian Grand Prix from pole position, Valtteri Bottas. Fastest lap of the race, Charles Leclerc. Come the end of the race from P10 to P5, Stroll, Gasly, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Ricciardo and Verstappen. P4, Charles Leclerc. P3, Sebastian Vettel. P2, Valtteri Bottas. And the winner, for a record equaling 7th time at the same Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton. But hopefully I'm wrong, and yeah, we'll have Ferrari give Mercedes a run for their money. Because at least results-wise, this 2019 campaign feels like the most one-sided of the hybrid era so far, and that's saying a lot. But what do you think will happen? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my picks? Please make sure to let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any other F1 related question, fire away, I'll be more than happy to try and answer it for you. Hit that like button if you think I've earned it, maybe the subscribe button as well, and yeah, please make sure to share this video with a racing fan. As always, I've been Chip. You can find me on Twitter at chip_DGS and on facebook.com/digitalgrandstand. Overtakes Montreal. Do you hear? Overtakes. Cheers. Fantastic Canadian GPs on Pirelli brings in the 3 softest Montreal, Canada.